Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to A.O.S Group. On this channel, we talk about everything related to language studies. If you are actually learning the French language, the Spanish, the German, or the Chinese, we also assist you to perfect your English language if that is what you want to achieve. If you are also preparing for internationally recognized language tests like IELTS, like TOEFL, TEF Canada, or TCF Canada, we can also assist with that. And lastly, we work with you to actually apply for permanent residency programs or even study visas, work visas to countries like Canada, the UK, France, or Germany. So that being said, today, as you know, we're always scheduled to start our Q&A sessions every 3 p.m. West African time or 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you have any questions as regards to today's topic, you can drop it on the live chat section or on the comment section of this video. So today, the title of our video is going to be centered on the question 252, which states that what are the traveling possibilities and plans for a single parent? And the question was asked by Osiefa Fatimah Temitayo from Nigeria. And as you know, it our questions are always extracted from the JAPA to Canada in 2023 webinar Q&As. So, thank you, Osiefa Fatima. I would put it, or I would believe from your question that you are a single parent. In other words, you have a child and you don't have a spouse that would like to actually do the immigration process with you. And I would state that yes, it is very possible for you. The possibilities of you traveling with your child or with your children is also plausible, just like the possibility of a couple actually traveling with their children. However, if you want to travel, you will need to state the reason why your spouse is not going to go with you, or to state the condition of your spouse that would limit your spouse to actually move to Canada with you. So let me give you an instance. If, for instance, your spouse is deceased, you may need to show a death certificate to inform the Canadian Immigration Office that your spouse is no longer alive. Also, if you have actually divorced your spouse, you may need to actually show as well that you have your divorce papers and you are able to show that you are no longer, you understand, a couple, you are no longer married by law. Now, thirdly, if your spouse is someone that you didn't get married to, you understand, it's just someone that you gave birth for, do you understand? You may need to actually show the custodian papers. In other words, you need to show that yes, you and your spouse have, or you and your boyfriend or fiancé have agreed for you to actually hold the custody of your child with you. You understand, home and abroad. So that may just be a simple letter that he or she writes. You understand, to state that yes, he has given you or she has given you the right for you to actually go with your child together to Canada. So that's the possibilities you have to actually travel with showing proof that yes, you and your child are free of any, you understand, lawsuits. You are free of um, any infringement of the right of another person, the second parent in this scenario, and you are free from any troubles, any worries in terms of who and who owns the custody of your child, the child that will be going with you to Canada. So that being said, on the documentation you may need to show for your single parenthood. But apart from the documentation, you asked about the travel possibilities. There are various travel possibilities that you can use to relocate to Canada. Firstly, the ones that are temporarily based. You can go for vacations, for tourism with your child or children, you understand, through the visitor visa. That is one sure way you could go spend some few weeks, some few days, or some few months in Canada as a tourist. But apart from that, you could also relocate to Canada under the work permit, whereby your children or your child is going to get a study permit if is above some certain age, or if it's below some certain age, you may need to actually enroll them into a particular school while you are working in your own profession. So you can actually enroll them to, depending on the age of the child and the class of the child, to nursery schools, to primary schools, to secondary schools, or even up to tertiary education. Now, apart from that, You could also travel to Canada under the study permit route. We have had situations whereby spouses or parents travel, whereby the first parent would get the study permit, the second parent would most likely get a work permit, and they would actually enroll the students or the children to schools as students or pupils while they are working and studying in a university. The only problem with that is that if you are going as a single parent, you may easily get rejected if you are not able to show that whilst you are studying in the school, you will be able to actually give the responsibility of taking care of the children to another parent or to another caregiver. So if you have funds and you can be able to spend on caregivers, you can actually give that responsibility. You can issue that responsibility by law to a caregiver to actually do whilst you are studying. You understand, either on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, or monthly basis to that so-called professional. So another way you could go through moving to Canada as a single parent with your child or children is through the permanent residency route. And we have various amounts of pathways you could use to relocate to Canada as a PR, as a PR resident. And one of the sure ways that many people know about is the express entry. Some know about the provincial nominee program route. Some even know about the Quebec skilled worker program route. Now, those routes are routes whereby you could actually go as a permanent resident and even get permanent residency status for your children or your child as well. And that means that as you are becoming a permanent resident yourself, your child or children is also becoming a permanent resident. Is different from a temporary residency, visitor, study, or work permit, whereby the fact that you are an international student doesn't make your child the same. You as a temporary worker doesn't make your child the same. However, as a visitor, your child too can also be a visitor or a tourist on that premise. So that being said, there are various ways you could relocate to. There are various possibilities you could have to travel to Canada, and depending on how you plan, if you, for instance, you plan to go to Canada and come back to your own country after some time, temporary residency will be a path for you. If you plan to go permanently, whereby you are able to even file for citizenship after up to 3 years of staying there, then you may go through the permanent residency route. So I hope that answers your questions. If you have any further questions related to what we talked on today, you can actually drop it on the comment section or on the live chat section of this video. Then do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit on the notification bar to get notified anytime we drop a content, and like and share this video with your friends and with your family. And thank you very much once again for joining us, and I do hope to see you in our next Q&A sessions. Bye for now.